Previously on SV Ramble. After witnessing one of the best sunsets we've seen in the Sea of Cortez, we quickly left Refugio at the break of dawn in order to avoid the bobo flies. We motored down the east coast of Isla Ángel de la Guarda to Punta Pulpito. We had a spirited sail as we crossed the bay to the deserted anchorage of Caleta, Pulpito West. Interesting. Really shallow in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at how it's eroding and making that cave, that arch.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's all sand bottom once you get past the rocks.
It's real shallow.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to be way out.
Man, it's so nice looking.
Dope. This is a rad frickin' anchorage, man. These boulders are just nuts.
Yeah, like this is deep enough to anchor here.
Yeah, this is anchoring depth right here.
Yeah.
It's easy 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
This is really good here.
So we landed on, well, I guess this is La Guarda. You can see our boat back there in this little cove here. They call it Caleta, Pulpito West. At least one old guidebook that I got from a friend said that. So it's pretty cool. Pretty untouched beach too, and there's a little lagoon salt pond behind me. These seagulls are so mad. They're nesting here and they're so mad at us for being here. So, but the water is really pretty. There's a slight little breeze coming from the east. It's supposed to die tonight because there's really no protection from the east. And if anything, it's going to come from the south, which is behind these mountains here, southwest-ish, that way. Yeah, gorgeous here. So this is like one of our first times that we've explored somewhere that hasn't been really charted. So on the chart when we came in, I was dropping pins of what the depths were. So if anybody's interested and you want to come over to the east side of this island, I've got those on my chart. And I will share. We're going to do a little scouting trip here in West Pulpito anchorage. The waves kind of calmed down a little bit, so it's getting a little choppy earlier.
It's nice out.
Off we go. It looks like there's definitely rocks down here.
Yeah, just big boulders.
Yeah. Rocky structure. God, the water's clear.
Dude, this is insane. This is nice. It doesn't look very fishy.
No. Well, if you stop, maybe we could see some.
Oh, whoa, orange grouper. Look at that.
Oh.
See that?
Oh, there.
Dude.
I know what you're doing.
There we go. Yep, that is the golden grouper. Holy moly, man.
Come around the corner. You got a little beach cove here.
There's a cave right here. It's more seagulls. It's a seagull sanctuary.
This looks dark.
It drops off fast, but it's so clear.
Yeah, it's clear, but
This is like yellowtail territory, man. This is where I can actually see them. It was like 8 feet of viz was the best viz I've seen in like 3 or 4 weeks. This is where we're going today. Alright, I'm gonna jump in the water and see what I can find.
it's pretty murky today.
I'll swim that way. Yeah, I know. Like 20 feet of viz, maybe.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Make it good.
We are leaving. What do you call this?
Caleta Pulpito West.
Pulpito.
Is what the Cunningham book calls it.
Okay. And the fishermen picked up their nets from yesterday. We kind of got fenced in.
Yeah, they blocked the whole bay with a net.
Yeah.
One point to the other. So
we're going straight into the wind, so we'll see how well this audio picks up. But
yeah, we had 2 really good nights here. The wind's supposed to kick up. It's supposed to be from the west, which probably would be fine here, but we're gonna head south anyway. About 5 hours or so to, what's it called? There's the red and white striped rocks that the Cunningham book cruising guide mentions. And then here's where we were yesterday, a couple days ago.
Fishing out here.
Yeah. There's
a couple of little bays.
Supposedly there's this other one over here that we're coming up to is another anchorage. We went in there briefly, but we didn't go very far.
And then further up, there's some detached rocks in the bay. This bite has a little bit of sandy, looks like Sandy Cove.
Yeah, and then the Cunningham book mentions some rocks or reef off of the shore here. Doesn't say where it is. And so we're kind of keeping our eye out for that. We're a little ways off. I'm not sure how far. It just says a considerable way offshore. And then on the chart, on avionics, somebody did mark rocks kind of vaguely in that area. It doesn't say anything about them. So we're just kind of making sure that we don't suddenly come in to cross some reef or something. We're about halfway between the tides. So the tide is going up. We're actually going against the tide. But hopefully if there is an exposed reef, either we'll see it or we'll be high enough with the tide that we won't see it. Which is preferable.
We'll look it up and get back to you.
Yeah, it's right next to Stanky, which is the pond, which is a little island. We're going to the shore right next to it, and actually there's it's called Tiny Cove in the Cunningham book, and it's a little beachy cove next to the longer beach. So we could anchor to either one, but it'd be fun to try the little one. She knows. So that's the east anchorage, Caleta, Pulpito East, and you can see it's not super beachy, it's more rocky, but it's got a big kind of a swale that goes up. It looks like it's just cactus and stuff. I think there's some rocks out a bit, but I think they're pretty deep.
Yeah. Then out here's the point where the osprey nest was.
Yeah, it's on that stand.
And that's
rock.
Where the yellowtail were hanging out yesterday.
On the surface. I don't think we even talked about it, did we? I'm in the dinghy and Rich is spear diving, and I can see probably 50 feet away there's something going on, little bait fish are hopping. So I get his attention and he swims over there and I can see their tails. I can see the yellow tail on the surface.
Feeding on the surface.
Yeah. And
busting bait.
Yeah. Rich went down how many feet? 7 feet?
7 or 8 feet. Made a quick drop and shot one and it tore off.
Yeah.
Big suck. Oh, yeah. Man.
But you had just gotten a really nice grouper.
Yeah, we got a nice cabria for dinner.
That's the 2 little ones.
Yeah, plus a little grouper and another little cabria. So, yeah, we still got ceviche left over. We never filmed that. I always film killing the fish, but not much what we do with it.
Yeah, the flies kind of did come in here a little bit today. They're a little worse today, and the bees are a little worse today. It's like they realized something was there with fresh water, and they told all their friends, and they all started coming over.
Rinsing my wetsuit. Brought them in yesterday a little bit. Nothing as bad as what was the top anchorage?
Refugio.
Refugio.
And we would say Refugio.
Yes.
Refuge, but they say Refugio.
We are at Little Cove. Sea lions getting all splashy.
No, Tiny Cove.
Tiny Cove. On the southern tip of Isla La Guarda. De La Guarda.
Next to...
That's stanky.
Let me see your back and shoulders.
Chewed.
I think there's no seams here.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I didn't get anything, but his back was covered with little bites last night. So it's just this little tiny cove next to a longer beach over there.
Twitchell lens flare.
But we were supposed to have some strong west wind last night, which were coming from this direction.
Glad we didn't.
I'm glad we didn't too, but I was kind of curious to see how much protection we would have. So we're not staying here. There's really nothing here. There's a little beach, just a roadstead.
Wide open to the north.
Yeah, we're gonna go head south today. There's the sun coming up over Estanque.
Tide looks pretty low. All right, we're coming up on Isla Salsipuedes. Leave if you can, I think is what it's called. And we left. What was the island? Leave if you dare.
I don't know. It's leave if you can.
I think it's leave if you can. Jenny's not wearing a microphone.
I don't know if that means like.
Why don't you put on a microphone and then you can join us. So I got this tiny little island. We're going over to the slot. So there's a slot with coves on the north and south side divided by a small little sand spit. So we're gonna go over that way.
Does it mean leave if you can, meaning it's so beautiful you never want to leave, or is it it's so dangerous that you should get out while you can?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. They're only about maybe 100 feet tall, so if the wind picks up, we're not going to have a lot of room. But it looks like we got good wind for about a week. Seeing a lot of flies landing.
Yeah.
Seems like it could be buggy. We'll start killing suckers. So anyway, we'll see what it's like. If we don't like it, we can always bust to the mainland. It's supposed to be nice here. Our friends on Remedy. Yeah, the Baja side. I say mainland, but Baja side. Our friends on Remedy have been here before, and so it's pretty good. The current in between the rocks is pretty swift, so timing is everything. We'll see if we can get out and do a little diving. We sailed for about an hour.
We did. We had a nice sail, 10 to 13 knots solidly for an hour. and then nada.
There's the first anchorage, the big wide one. Tuck back in there. We're gonna go around the corner right here. Hopefully it's not too buggy, man. I'm seeing a lot of flies. So we had a major bug situation when we got to Salsipuedes. Man, it was just thousands of flies landed all over us. I mean, it was just like, what do you mean? I got the hook about 25 feet of chain out and just said screw it and rolled it back in, and we threw it in gear and went for it, and we got out. So we started heading north. We were going to go back to Pescador and check out Animas that we haven't been to yet. Pescador, we've been there before. That's like the longest place we've been in the Sea of Cortez, actually. But halfway across the channel, we decided let's turn south. And now we are headed back to San Francisco.
It was the same distance. It was still 4 hours either way.
So we might, yeah, it was either 4 hours north or 4 hours south. So we opted to go south, and I don't know, maybe we'll go back to Santa Rosalia. What are we in, an hour, 2 hours? We're about an hour and a half out.
Yeah, we got like almost 18 knots of wind.
Yeah, we're kicking along.
We might need to put a reef
All three sails. We ain't putting a reef in. We're going for it. We lost a lot of time messing around. We had to make lunch and let the cat do her thing.
30 minutes. We had the engine on for 30 minutes.
Bobbing around with
We had like no
like
wind.
1.5 knots, just chilling.
But she won't go downstairs, so we have to do that to give her a break. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
So anyway, so a buddy of mine from San Diego, or he was making a trip to Gonzaga to go spearfishing, and I told him we're moving our way north. He said, don't skip the San Francisco. We never did dive there, and then we ended up having the leg tragedy that kind of soured us on that place, plus the weather wasn't that great when we were there. That was over Easter weekend. So
It's been a month.
it's been almost a month. Yeah, literally like a month. And we're going to go back. I'm going to try and dive the outside edge and see if I can find some yellowtail. I really want to get a yellowtail.
I don't mind going backwards when we can sail it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we got to motor it. It's like, oh, it feels like a waste.
2 hours ago, there was 0 wind. Now we're just trucking along and doing like 5.5 knots. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good. San Francisco Mosquito. I hope not.
I hope not too.
So we read a review from February of this year, and someone said it would be great if there weren't so many bees.
That was the month before we were there.
Yeah,
There was no bees.
Yeah, that was in February. We were there in March, no bees, and now we're back in April, so who knows?
Flies.
The flies, man. I can deal with the bees. I just can't handle the flies. They're just insane.
This Pelican's been sitting here for like 5 or 10 minutes, just cruising back and forth in his little mohawk. You hear that? She's growling at it. You tell it. You don't let it up here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, look at her hackles. Cute.
Be ready to jump in the water in case she goes in. I think we need to get a net that would fit that cat. Just in case she goes in.
Like a dip net.
Yes.